Yo, what's up guys? You got PokeaimMD here, and today we are back with the OU Road to Top 10. That's right, we are starting one of the most hyped and anticipated series on my channel, the OU Road to Top 10 on Pokemon Showdown. For those that are new, hi, what's up? I'm Joey, or PokeaimMD. I like to play Pokemon, I like to play Pokemon Showdown, and basically right here, we're doing a series where we try and get to top 10 on the OU ladder. So, top 10 is 2013. We are starting at 1,000 points. Now, if you guys are excited about this, feel free to leave a like. Let me know. I would love if we can get like 3,000, 4,000 likes on the first episode of the OU Road to Top 10. I think that'd be great. And of course, if you are new and you love competitive Pokemon, feel free to subscribe. My favorite thing about this series is that I get to show off just how lucky, I mean skilled, that I am in Pokemon. Man, that transition was so slick. Some might even say it was sleek. Kind of like our sponsor today. That's right, if you can't tell by my costume, this video is sponsored by the Ridge Wallet. It is sleek, light, and durable. And best of all, it's not this fat wallet from the 90s that it pisses me off every single time I drive my car or sit down and just sit on it. The Ridge Wallet holds up to 12 cards, plus room for cash. As you can see, I have $1 in there. That is all I own to this day. There are over 30, yes, 30 colors and styles. Each wallet comes with a lifetime guarantee, and the Ridge team is so confident that you'll love the Ridge Wallet that they'll give you a 45-day test drive to return it for a full refund. That means you can sit on this thing for 45 days and they'll still take it back. You can get 10% off today with free worldwide shipping and returns by going to ridge.com/Draco and using code Draco upon checkout. All the links are down below. Thank you so much to the Ridge team for sponsoring this video, and let's get right back to the Road to Top 10. I really hope I decided to go with the Crimson Chin outfit for that first one because I think it'd be really funny, but I did explain this before that the OU Road to Top 10 will be having sponsors in this, which is actually so good for me considering everything going on. So I appreciate Ridge Wallet. Big shout out to y'all. Feel free to check that out. And I'll be giving you guys a team preview today. Shout out to my boy Finchinator for the squad. Check out my website, PokeaimMD.com, if you'd like to see it. And let's get right into team preview. All right, so let's get into team preview for our first team for the OU Road to Top 10. First off, we have Zeraora coming out with a naive nature, max speed, max attack. With 4 in special attack. The main purpose of Zeraora is honestly to punish MANDIBUZZ and Toxapex, Volt Switch around on Pokemon like Assault Vest or even set up Magearna, knock off Hippowdon's Rocky Helmet or leftovers, and also getting rid of AMOONGUS's Black Sludge. And then Close Combat is there to help us hit Pokemon like EXCADRILL as well as HYDREIGON. Speaking of HYDREIGON, we have the nice nasty plot, 3 attacks, HYDREIGON, the breaker of the tier. Draco Meteor at +2 knocks out MANDIBUZZ, which is amazing for EXCADRILL and SLOWBRO on the team. We also have Flamethrower, which allows us to deal with Magearna, AMOONGUS, Corviknight, Magnezone, a plethora of these steel types. And then we have Flash Cannon, which is mainly there for Clefable. It nukes physically defensive Clefable, and at the same time, it also is good neutral versus something like a Zumaro. So HYDREIGON's role is really to just be that offensive presence for Pokemon like Rotom Heat, which are actually pretty big problems for this team, as it does resist both of its dual stab. It can threaten it with the Draco. Of course, we do have the Levitate ability too, so we can switch in on Earthquake from Sandrush Excadrill. Next up, we do have MANDIBUZZ, Heavy Duty Boots MANDIBUZZ with enough speed for modest Aegislash. We're also outspeeding a Zumaro and things like that, though it doesn't really matter in this case because we do have knockoff over foul play, but we're physically defensive. This helps us better take on Urshifu. We have the Overcoat ability, so we can switch in 100% Pokemon like Amoonguss, obviously because we don't care about that Spore, and resist most of their attacks. And usually I would go foul play on MANDIBUZZ, but because this team has Slowbro as a secondary check to Pokemon like Excadrill, I think that it's okay to run knockoff, especially because everything's running, you know, leftovers, Black Sludge, Rocky Helmet. So getting rid of all that really does help something like Zeraora or even HYDREIGON clean up. U-turn for momentum. It also doesn't let HYDREIGON set up a Nasty Plot for free. For example, if it's MANDIBUZZ versus HYDREIGON in the 1v1, HYDREIGON might go for Nasty Plot and then threaten something with Draco. Instead of having to predict, I just go for a nice and safe U-turn, get in my Zeraora, and knock it out with the Close Combat. And then Defog. This is my hazard control with the Heavy Duty Boots. Now, I might change around this set a little bit. I might put Toxic on it for Volcarona or Brave Bird, which will help me better deal with Volcarona because that thing is a giant problem to the team. And typically when I'm on the lower ladder, I actually like to use like Spike's offense and whatnot. But just because of all the Pokemon we have right now, I think that balance is a little bit better for the first episode. We have AMOONGUSS, physically defensive, as the next Pokemon. I really love Regenerator. Being able to pivot this thing in on Excadrill, Zeraora, even Como is really nice for this, as well as a Azumarill. It can, at full HP, live a Pyro Ball from Cinderace, so I can Spore it and put it to sleep. We do have the Rocky Helmet just to punish all that, as well as punish Urshifu. So the great thing about having a Regenerator Pokemon is because Bandit Urshifu is so good, you switch into this, you take about 63%, 65% from a Choice Band Wicked Blow, and then you pivot into Mandibuzz while getting your Regenerator back, whilst doing a little bit of damage because of the Rocky Helmet. Sludge Bomb and Giga Drain are basically a given, and then we have Stun Spore, which I also might change to Toxic depending on how I feel the Mandibuzz matchup is, though I do think this team has some good mons for that. And Stun Spore being able to slow down Pokemon like Magearna, being able to slow down Cinderace if I already put something to sleep, or honestly just anything can really support a Life Orb Hydreigon. Next up, we do have Excadrill, and we're running a really bulky Excadrill because Choice Specs Magearna is a problem to this team. It kind of just clicks Volt Switch, Flash Cannon, Aura Sphere, or Focus Blast, right? And it can get a kill, which is why we have 224 special defense on this Excadrill. That allows us to take a Choice Specs Aura Sphere from Magearna. We do outspeed it, obviously, and we threaten it back with an Earthquake. We have Toxic as a way of dealing with Mandibuzz, wearing it down between a Regenerator Pokemon. That way I don't have to go immediately into something like Zeraora and get knocked off or U-turned on or foul played upon switching. So Toxic will allow me to wear that down. And this is also a Pokemon that helps us check Rotom Heat on the team. I cannot switch in on Overheat, I cannot switch in on Will-O-Wisp, but I do outspeed it and I can knock it out with my Mold Breaker Earthquake. This is also our Stealth Rocker for the squad, and we do have the Iron Head as well as a pivot into Clefable, which the special defense also helps me deal with that too, because a lot of Clefables right now are running Calm Mind, Flamethrower, and Moonblast with a Life Orb, and that'll do a lot to Excadrill, but with the special defense we can better take that on. And then we do have the leftovers for longevity, and again Toxic also helps me wear down bulkier Pokemon like opposing Slowbro. And speaking of which, we do have our own Slowbro with the heavy duty boots. That way we don't have to deal with hazards. We don't care about Toxic Spike, we don't care about Spikes, we don't care about Stealth Rock. With Regenerator, that is a crucial item with Slowbro. A lot of people like to run Rocky Helmet, which is really good for Cinderace. Speaking of which, this is our Cinderace answer, as long as they're not running like Work Up Electro Ball or something like that. But physically defensive as a way of dealing with that, as a way of dealing with Excadrill and whatnot. We do have Psychic over Future Sight. Sometimes people like to run Future Sight on Slowbro as a way of, you do a damage with something like Zeraora, for instance. Like if I have Zeraora out and I go for maybe like a close combat or a Plasma Fist, and something like AMOONGUSS comes in, Future Sight would hit them after and it can knock them out, right? But we have Psychic as a way of immediately dealing with Toxapex, since nothing really wants to switch hard into Toxapex on this team. Zeraora doesn't want to get burnt, nor does it want to get poisoned. Same thing with Excadrill in terms of the burn, and Hydreigon also does not want to get poisoned either. So Psychic gives us a way of actually dealing with that. We have Relaxed Nature as well. That way we have the slowest teleport, so we can actually teleport out in front of other Slowbro. And the way teleport works is it's a -6 switch, so it's really good because I get to see what my opponent is going for, and then I go for teleport. And then we do have Slack Off for the longevity. But that is a team for today. Let's get right into the battles. So without further ado, let us get into the battles. I'm pretty excited. Typically I do go with, like I was mentioning, more of an offensive build when we're starting on the ladder, but because this metagame has some very scary Pokemon like Urshifu, Cinderace, as well as Magearna, I kind of want to use a balance and kind of just, take it slow. I don't mind having a bunch of episodes for this. I know you guys definitely don't mind. And yeah, so look at my opponent's team. Zeraora looks fantastic. It has a high speed tier. Looking at my opponent, I love that they have Machamp and Whimsicott, some underrated Pokemon, specifically Machamp. I think this spawn is pretty cool, though Conkeldurr can do its job better. Nasty Plot Hydreigon with Flash Cannon, Flamethrower, and Draco can get a kill every single time it comes out, if I predict correctly. Zeraora seems to be the Pokemon that will actually get KOs every single time. I'm very weak to a Nasty Plot Hydreigon, so I might just play safe versus that. And what I mean is I might actually give them something and then just go out to Zeraora after and revenge kill every single Pokemon on their team. AMOONGUSS can help me deal with Whimsicott, not too worried unless it's Spec Psychic, and if that's the case, I have a special defensive Excadrill as well as MANDIBUZZ to deal with that. But yeah, it looks like as many times as I get Zeraora in, I just kind of click buttons versus my opponent. I'm kind of waiting it because it's the first game on the ladder too. Let's just let's give you a little taste of what it is to be on PokeaimMD. So in terms of leads, I absolutely love Zeraora. Like I mentioned before, the speed tier is fantastic here. I have MANDIBUZZ to switch in on Marowak, so I should be okay there. And I can Volt Switch out versus basically everything. And I kind of figured that would happen. Yep, I knew where I was in the ladder. We don't just predict what my opponent is going to do in the game. We predict what we're going to do in real life. So that dude actually just went to go, contemplate playing the real game because he couldn't even take it. I kind of figured that would happen in the first one. I wonder if we can get a few more like that. Hey, but leave a like for that. Anyway, now we're fighting offense. Once again, Zeraora has the speed tier in this. I'm a little bit worried about Como, but the fact that I have Psychic and not the Future Sight is a little bit better here. This team is very, very, very weak to Volcarona. So a few things I wanted to change about the squad. One of them would have been running Toxic on AMOONGUSS, which I think I will do on the, just for now, because it can't miss, whereas Stun Spore can miss. It can't miss because I'm a poison type. So I think we'll go Toxic for this. And yeah, rocks look phenomenal here. They stop my opponent from doing a ton. I definitely want rocks up as early as possible. And yeah, Zeraora can just Volt Switch around on my opponent. So Azumarill is checked by HYDREIGON. It's checked by, if they Belly Drum, it's checked by AMOONGUSS. Zeraora has just that great speed tier. And let's just start it off with that Pokemon because I can Volt Switch on basically every bad matchup I have as they lead off with Ferrothorn. And I'm going to Volt Switch here and opt to get up Stealth Rock. Main reason being is I want to make sure I can pressure that Volcarona. Obviously, they also don't like switching into EQ, but this is nice for Cloyster. This is really, really, really good for my HYDREIGON too. Just getting all that chip on everything as HYDREIGON can get a kill whenever it comes out. Now, unfortunately, this is bad because I'm basically forced to defog almost immediately because I don't have Rapid Spin on this Pokemon. They could Leech Seed here if they wanted to. I think we'll just use the HYDREIGON to my advantage and kind of just click Flamethrower. Seeing as how they have very, very limited switch-ins, I just need to be very careful about Volcarona. But I don't think that Thunder Wave here, worst case they body press, but it won't kill. And as they go for another Spike, which is completely fine. So, click Flamethrower now. We should get a kill on Ferrothorn. If they go, I'm not going to bother predicting on the lower ladder. I actually don't end up KOing, which is pretty funny. As they end up getting all 3 layers up. And we'll just go for a second Flamethrower. I don't think there's a reason to go for Flash Cannon here. If they go Azumarill, who cares? They have all 3 layers up and Stealth Rock. Now, if their Volcarona is modest, I can drop a Draco on that thing. I'm surprised Ferrothorn ate that up, but they go Azu now. If they Nasty Plot, or if they end up going for the Belly Drum right here and attempt to sweep me, I think Nasty Plotting is my best play because I can knock them out with Flash Cannon after. Yeah, because I'll live a +6 Aqua Jet, so I might as well go for this. I'll live their attack. They don't even have Citrus Berry. What? Okay. I don't know why, but Nasty Plotting was my play in that situation because if they ended up going for Play Rough, who cares? I could have just switched out into AMOONGUSS or used AMOONGUSS and click Spore, but now I get kills with HYDREIGON. Again, still very, very, very weak to Volcarona. I might end up putting Toxic or Brave Bird on MANDIBUZZ too. Maybe over U-turn. Then they bring out Cloyster. Ice Shard does not knock me out. I'll just click Flamethrower here. Perfect. It's crazy because like none of these mons are threats besides and not even Mimikyu is a threat. Besides Volcarona. So I still have to position myself well because I can lose to Volcarona and I can also lose to Como, I suppose, too. They are just not... Bro, do you know how to click attacks here? None of their mons have clicked attack. I don't click Shadow Sneak. No! So I was going to say, none of their mons have clicked attacks yet. We're going to make the Excadrill play because I can Toxic Volcarona if they end up going out into it, and that will let my MANDIBUZZ beat it 1v1. As they opt to bring out Como. I think very similarly, we do the exact same thing. This could be sub Belly Drum. Slowbro can deal with it to an extent. As they do opt to go for Belly Drum, they don't even get the Citrus Berry. I'll just go for Earthquake here. I actually don't think it does 44% considering my EV spread. I should Iron Head. But I mean, it's still my strongest attack. Worst case, they Drain Punch. I'm just trying to position myself to a way that Volcarona does not beat me. Okay, I think the better play is to go Slowbro and allow them to knock me out. Just go for Teleport here. Get in my Excadrill. And then again, just proceed to kind of just get that Toxic off on Volcarona. So I'm still faster. I don't think Earthquake knocked him out because I'm not max attack. I have 32 attack investment on this, and I really just want to be able to Toxic that Volcarona. I know they're just going to set up a Quiver Dance anyway because every other mon on their team. Now this sucks because I'm putting myself in a 90% chance to win, but if they have Roost, it makes sense. If they do take Stealth Rock damage though, I'm going to Earthquake. Okay, Never mind, this is fine, because if they knock me out, Plasma Fist knocks them out. Great. I was assuming they were heavy-duty boots. So, perfect. We end up winning that game. And, yeah, I'm happy about that. That Mon was the biggest threat to my entire team, which is kind of the reason why MANDIBUZZ should have Toxic on the squad. We fought another one. And this dude has a nice and real team, too. Okay. Also, I love this this new spectator thing. I don't even have to do IONX. A few things. One more time, Zeraora is really good. HYDREIGON gets a kill whenever it's out, which is really nice. AMOONGUSS can deal with basically everything on their squad, though I am going to have to Toxic the Volcarona. I think I have to go Brave Bird or something on this thing, because, like, forget U-turn. I'm just going to go Brave Bird. I need to do some type of damage to Volk. Like, everything has to be able to do damage to Volk. So I'm going to go Brave Bird on this. This is my second Volcarona in, what, 2 games? So, HYDREIGON gets a kill whenever it comes out because it's Flash Cannon. AMOONGUSS can spore everything besides Ferrothorn, which is really nice. EXCADRILL can potentially eat, I believe, a CC from the Zeraora. And if they end up going for Wicked Blow with their Shifu, I can just bring out AMOONGUSS and then pivot into MANDIBUZZ. But in terms of speed tier, Zeraora is just the greatest one, and it's so good versus their team. So I'm going to go AMOONGUSS first, just because it matches up well versus basically every Mon on their squad. This should not be able to knock me out, not in one hit, and I'm just going to go right for the Spore as they go for U-turn. That damage is very important too for knockoff, since I believe with Rocks it's a guaranteed KO, and they end up going right out into Volcarona. Damn, that's actually, I don't like that. I actually really don't like that. I'm forced to go out to Zeraora here. I have to change my game plan, but and pray that I do not get burnt here. Nice. So I'm taking their Volcarona. I'm not. If I get burnt, I'll adjust. I don't know if Plasma Fist even does contact. It looks like it does contact, but we get rid of the biggest threat. We are on the lower ladder, guys. Keep in mind, we're starting. As you can see, I have. Oh, that's so sad that they have this Urshifu. As you can see, I am 2-0, 1,072. Now, Urshifu, obviously, we're just going to bring out our Rocky Helmet AMOONGUSS. Now, if they go for their Surging Strike, they're just going to lose a lot because of my Rocky Helmet. No. Oh, I feel so bad about this, man. I really do. But on the higher ladder, I do think that this Volcarona had a better position or had a chance of sweeping me. No point to predict, really. At all. I don't care that they have Ferrothorn. I'm going to make the safe Spore play as they go Wheezing. And this is really cool too, because Ferrothorn could be their mid-ground play. We'll make the HYDREIGON play as they end up dealing with that. They end up going out into Urshifu, and they end up forfeiting there. Nice. I mean, the first episode of the road is just us getting forfeits, man. I guess if I take too long, they'll just end up leaving no matter what. So we'll go for that. We'll aim for that. Ooh, is that a... Yo, you know what? What did Karen say? Was it strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon? Strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon. Oh, let me find this right now on Google. Yeah, that is the only selfish perception of people. Truly skilled trainers should try and win with their favorites. And you know what, Emperor Typhlosion? Wait. Oh, okay, never mind. I was about to call him a liar, but Typhlosion's not in the game. You get a little pass here. Regardless of them having... a Sirfetchingtons, and by that I mean Farfetchingtons. Regardless of them having Farfetch, which is actually a threat if it's Brave Bird with a band, it actually a pretty big threat. They have things like Blastoise and Toxtricity, which are giant threats to me. I really love Zeraora. Again, its speed tier is phenomenal in this. HYDREIGON gets a kill whenever it's out in front of Ferrothorn, because Flamethrower and Flash Cannon can deal with offensive Togekiss. I have to be very careful about... I put Brave Bird on it. I have to be very careful about Shell Smash Blastoise as well. Zeraora just, in general, is a phenomenal lead that just has a great start, especially because they end up leading off with Ferrothorn. So this is good because there's no way they'll Thunder Wave a Zeraora, and I'm going to use my HYDREIGON as quickly as possible here. They end up missing Leech Seed 2, which is pretty big considering I should be able to kill them with Flamethrower now, based on the roll we had last time, and I might not have been able to kill them had they landed that. But we'll get rid of them. I'm going to drop a Draco on this Blastoise, that way it can't Shell Smash and destroy me. I'm assuming that's what it's going to try and do here, as they end up going out to Toxtricity, which is a very good play on their part. A very, very, very good play on their part, as Blastoise is going to come out. I'm going to hope that AMOONGUSS can... That was a super good play, but I'm going to assume they're going to Shell Smash now, as they go right for Ice Beam, which would not have knocked me out even at +2. Perfect. So we can Spore here. I hate ice moves so much. And we're just going to make the Zeraora play because it deals offensively with basically everything on their squad. The only Dragapult that is a threat to me, not Dragon Dance, but Scarf. So we'll make the Excadrill play as it's pretty useless regardless of that. If they end up trying to go for Draco Meteor, if they Dragon Dance in my face or go for Dragon Pulse, I don't really care. And I'm not going to bother going for rocks. I'm going to go for the offensive Iron Head as it hits everything coming in. It did so much. I'm not about to get a 47 roll, so we'll just click Earthquake here. Knockout Farfetch'd. And my opponent ends up forfeiting. Okay, I mean, the climb's going to be... The first episode is not going to be that interesting, I guess. But, I mean, that's fun for me. Ooh, Scolipede, which is a giant threat. Luckily, I have Brave Bird, though Foul Play might have been better on this team. But we do have Slowbro to deal with you. Seismitoad is a Pokemon I have not seen in a minute, but my gosh, does HYDREIGON get a kill every single time it's out. Especially versus Seismitoad early. Depending on the Como, MANDIBUZZ can help me beat it 1v1 just because I have Brave Bird now. AMOONGUSS deals with Zeraora always, for the most part, I guess. And Excadrill, so does Slowbro. Slowbro is just very, very, very beautiful here. Excadrill is actually pretty expendable besides clicking Stealth Rock and Toxic. So I'm going to use Excadrill just to get up rocks to kind of just wear them down. I don't mind them leading off with their Scolipede because they shouldn't be able to knock me out with Earthquake. Not right now, anyway. And I'll take this as an opportunity to knock them out with... Ooh, are they taking too long? Maybe I shouldn't have switched out. There's no way they'll Poison Jab there, yeah. So, we'll go for Brave Bird here, just to knock them out. Not gonna... They can't Baton Pass because the Baton Pass isn't legal. And Brave Bird says, hey, don't go Como. Excessor did a good chunk, not gonna lie. But I should be able to roost with this thing on their own MANDIBUZZ. And just getting rid of Scolipede, that's something I don't have to worry about sweeping me late game. Zeraora comes out and I have an AMOONGUSS. Them being sub Belly Drum Como could be scary here though. I still make the AMOONGUSS play, I think, 9 times out of 10. Perfect. And we simply just go for Toxic here. It hits Como. I don't care if they have Blaze Kick or anything like that. It hits MANDIBUZZ. If they go Excadrill, I have Slowbro as a switch in. It's just... Yeah, perfect, perfect, perfect. So even if they're like sub Belly Drum, we're good now. Now, in order to keep up offensive like momentum and not to give them anything here, I could still make the... I think I'll just make the MANDIBUZZ play either way. No, okay, they definitely were like some sort of Belly Drum, not rocks. I'm assuming Seismitoad is rocks, but hey, we'll take those dubs, man. I don't mind. Go ahead and leave. So, this is a game where I love Excadrill. Not only does it switch into Clefable very easily because of my Spadef EVs, but Earthquake is very good because of Mold Break. I don't care about Levitate. Incredible matchup for Zeraora too, as long as I get rid of Rotom Heat, which HYDREIGON should provide pretty well in this case. And in terms of Pokemon they can't knock out in one hit, I think that's AMOONGUSS. AMOONGUSS just gives me a fairly easy Spore. I would even think I can live this Overheat and take it, but I guess since I'm on lower ladder, they could be something like Specs, so I shouldn't necessarily risk this. So I'm going to make the Slowbro play just because it's kind of useless in this game. It loses to most of their Pokemon besides Excadrill, and I have Zeraora, AMOONGUSS, HYDREIGON, MANDIBUZZ, all that to deal with it. So if they go for like a Specs Overheat, as they go for Nasty Plot, immediately. I don't want... Again, this mon is useless, so I don't want to switch. I'm not going to bother switching. I'm not. Yeah, perfect. So they ended up going for their Overheat, which is great. I get damage on this, which is amazing for Zeraora. That's amazing for Zeraora. I'm not in a position where I felt the need to predict there. And we'll make the HYDREIGON play now. As they go for Volt Switch and not Discharge. I had a feeling they were that over Discharge, but I don't know why Leftovers kind of take me off. Or not tick me off, but that was a little bit interesting. So in terms of plays that don't allow my opponent anything out of it, I think Excadrill makes the most sense here. I don't want to bring out AMOONGUSS and have them teleport right back out into Rotom as they go for Moonblast. And because they've revealed... Oh, that is... We don't see a Life Orb, but that's definitely Magikarp Life Orb there. I can knock them out with Iron Head, but I still think... I'm just going to click Iron Head. I don't care about Rotom coming in. I don't have to bother predicting. I don't think Rocks do much in this game because Zeraora can basically knock out everything anyway. And if I got rid of Clefable, that and Rotom were the only ones that could take hits. So I just click Earthquake here because of my Mold Breaker. They give me the biggest threat, and I still have my sack in Slowbro. for no matter what they do. And even if they're like Swords Dance Crawdaunt, for instance, right? They go Crawdaunt right now and they decide to go for Swords Dance. I should be good. Amoonguss can come in on you, at least right now, if they do SD. As they go right for Crab Hammer. Is that banded or just Life Orb? Okay, it's banded. And we just click Spore. Don't have to bother predicting here. So in order to make a play that doesn't let anything else come in, which like is Aegislash is the big one I'm thinking about. I'm going to make the HYDREIGON play. It also just doesn't care, period, about what they can do. And I'm just going to click Flamethrower. I'm not going to bother nasty plotting in this case. We're on the lower ladder. There's no point in predicting. Look how much that did to that Clefable, man. Watch this thing randomly be Scarf. So we get rid of Clef. Like I said, all HYDREIGON has to do is attack. Now that we know that their Crawdaunt is Choice Band, it makes life a little bit easier. If their HYDREIGON is Nasty Plot, I think we're fine. MANDIBUZZ can live basically every hit here. I just don't want them to be sub-Nasty Plot, so that's why I'm going to go MANDIBUZZ to Brave Bird. As that looks to be Scarf. Nice. Let me just make sure. Okay, good. Yeah, I just Roost. What does Aegislash do? Aren't I a counter to you? I guess I could be wrong about that. Huh. So this is Scarf. Excadrill can live Dark Pulses with ease. I'm going to knock off as their King Shard. Are they SD? Oh, maybe they're just sub-toxic. I'm still going for knockoff here. Hopefully they're not Weakness Posse. As they end up Flash Cannoning, we're just going for Roost. As they end up going out to HYDREIGON. So, once again, I'm just going to go for knockoff because if I get rid of HYDREIGON's Choice Scarf, then Zeraora kills every mon on their team. I guess my opponent expected that, or they expected me to, I don't know, go SLOWBRO on the Flash Cannon or Excadrill, and they wanted to try and take advantage of that. I'm just trying to do my best to make plays that cover a lot of what they could do. My dude has a very threatening mon in Scyther, but I love... yo, hold up. Let me take a screenshot of this team real quick. That is mine for later. Okay. That team is fire. I love it. All right, so Zeraora goes in. It's probably Scarf Crocodile too with rocks on Skarmory, but Zeraora goes absolutely in. Most likely Heavy Duty Boots on the Scyther. Dual Wing Beat shouldn't be able to knock out Amoonguss. And Amoonguss can Spore basically every mon on their team. Excadrill is still very good in this game too, especially with getting up rocks. Amoonguss shouldn't die to anything besides maybe Specs Fire Blast from this mon. So I like Amoonguss early. It gives me a Spore. They end up leading off a Crocodile, which doesn't show Intimidate. I'm assuming it is an Anger Point variant. We're going to Spore here. Like I said, I'm pretty sure their rocker is Skarmory, so this should be a free Spore on something. And then I can take advantage of that Spore by going out into my Zeraora, because whatever comes in, even if it's Crocodile, will be asleep. And it hasn't burnt any turns, and basically Zeraora has a good matchup versus everything. So I get a nice little Spore off on the Crocodile. We're going to make the Zeraora play now. This deals with both Skarmory, Scyther, and Toxapex if they want to come out. And the fact that they stayed in there is actually very concerning, so I'm going to make the HYDREIGON play. And I don't want to risk this dude being randomly just clicking close combat here. So I'm going to double out to Amoonguss on what I'm expecting to be Toxapex or Skarmory. Woof, not what I expected there. It's all good though, because Scyther can eat at least a dual wing beat, and if they're U-turn, we find out, what is that, banded 61? That looks banded, right? SLOWBRO. Yep, that is Choice Band for sure. Ooh, they're on a balloon. Nice. I've been countered. It's actually very annoying that they're on a balloon, but HYDREIGON still just basically gets a KO now, so. Yeah, I'm not going to bother predicting, because I can Nasty Plot in front of their passive Pokemon like Toxapex and Scyther. I'm just going to click Flamethrower here. If I get rid of Magnezone on a balloon, or at least weaken it, I can knock it out with Excadrill. It sucks that they crit me there because I have very limited switch-ins now, but I still rather they U-turn on SLOWBRO, considering SLOWBRO isn't the worst in this game, it's just not the best. Now, I have the Heavy Duty Boots and Regenerator, so I always come back, and if they go Magnezone, so be it. The Skarmory ends up coming out. Excadrill can give me my own rocks, and honestly, Zeraora kills everything with rocks up, so I'm gonna do that. Yeah, this is such a good turn for me. They could have Body Press, of course, but again, just me getting up rocks. That Scyther is going to start being worn down. My SLOWBRO doesn't care about rocks because I had to do boots, And I probably will, as long as I keep Excadrill alive, they are, or at least healthy enough, they're not going to do a wing beat. Because that's the threatening one from Scyther. Dragapult and Crocodile are both checked by MANDIBUZZ too, so. And the Brave Birding here, cool. Could be Rocky Helmet. I'll make the Slowbro play now just to get Regenerator. As they end up defogging immediately. And we'll just teleport here. Get my more regen. And it's time. Young Scyther gets to come out. I mean, young Zeraora gets to come out. We'll just click Knockoff. Knockoff hits Crocodile if they want to make that play. And I can probably knock them out with Close Combat after. 82%. I don't like to risk when I don't have to. This is why we learn. Close Combat does 85 min. Let's go. Go on and give me that mon. And now this means I can just Volt Switch around with Zeraora. Yeah, I don't even have to. I mean, Plasma Fist is better versus their entire team. But we get rid of their only way of revenge killing this Pokemon. I doubt their Dragapult is Choice Scarf. I would assume like Hex, because they have Toxapex plus Hazard. So like Hex with like maybe Specs, Hex Specs. Or anything like that. I know for a fact that's Choice Band Scyther. Are you serious right now? Go ahead. Hey, you turn on my Amoonguss too. Take some more chip. They do a wing beat, they die, so it doesn't matter. As they bug bite. It's a good chunk, not gonna lie. Nothing's asleep, so I'll just click Spore. Cool, so Scyther dies, but I get my regen back. I don't gotta worry about that Mon coming in every single time. I don't care about Magnezone either, because Excadrill deals with it. This can still technically Spore something, so it'd be good. I'll Spore here. As they Dragon Darts me. And this should allow me to bring out you and just knock off. Because Slowbro actually gets kills by clicking, what's it called? Uh-oh. Oh, that's still 2 kill, that's perfect. Because Slowbro actually gets kills by clicking both Scald as well as Psychic, I think it's fine that we were able to 2-kill Dragapult there. MANDIBUZZ doesn't do anything for me, and at that point Zeraora just comes out and clicks Plasma Fist and should win in theory. So let's look for another one. The boys on the climb. We are on the come up. Let us keep going. Again, ooh, might be goated. Oh, that means they know what they're doing. Okay. Rocker is Como, which makes life a little bit easier. I love HYDREIGON. It gets kills whenever it comes out. This mon is a problem, but we do have Excadrill as a way of hopefully beating it 1v1. I get a Spore off whenever I have this Pokemon, whenever I have Amoonguss out. But like I said, Rotom is a giant threat. HYDREIGON lets me deal with that early. Exactly, and I'm just going to drop a Draco here. I get a crit on Rotom, one of the biggest threats to my team, so that's fantastic. As Magearna is going to come out. I'm going to make the Excadrill play here. I have Spadef EVs to take a Specs Aura Sphere. Oh boy. Man, I'm still going to Earthquake, right? Am I not supposed to be Earthquaking this? Alright, it's not doing enough damage back. Perfect. Yeah, as long as I'm doing enough, I'm good. I'm gonna skip turns because I get a little frantic looking for this. Just a percentage more every single time, huh? Perfect. That's it. Biggest threat to my team. So we got rid of Magearna, we got rid of Rotom. 2 biggest threats to my team. At that point, Como was rocked, so he didn't really have much for me, I would say. My boy's saying if they want to play Monopoly. I got it on my Switch when it was on sale, so I was like, hey, why not? Oh, I don't have to IO next because we have this. Don't allow spectators. I keep doing it anyway. My bad, my bad. My bad. But yeah. Ooh. Oh, yo. Okay, so these 3 together are on my favorite DVP OU team ever. But it looks like they have Sticky Web plus maybe Focus Energy U. So I want to make sure I can deal with that. Yeah, Focus Energy Kingdra is a giant threat. HYDREIGON kills everything with Flamethrower and Draco respectively. I think that Zeraora also has a fantastic matchup versus a lot of their early team just because it's so fast and it can knock off into Plasma Fist on the Galvantula while also avoiding Thunder Wave. So I think that's very important here. So we'll knock off there. And we'll go for Plasma Fist here. Scizor, if it sets up, Hopefully, I can. I mean, I'm pretty sure Zeraora can beat it. At this point, what do? Yeah, you go Arcanine. That makes sense. I'll just Volt Switch out into defensive MANDIBUZZ. Now, Gengar could be a problem, but Spadef Excadrill can live a hit from it, and if I get rid of the Sticky Web, it's not an issue. So I think I'll make the MANDIBUZZ play, even if they Flare Blitz or whatever here. I think it's physically... I should hopefully be able to take 2. Good. I don't have Foul Play, so this Pokemon isn't as useful here. Yep. Figured I'd be able to take that. Nice. Let him knock me out here. I'm just thinking, is it worth me taking Extreme Speed? It's not. I'm going to make Amoonguss. I'm going to make the Amoonguss play. It's a little bit risky, but I think in that position they are going to Extreme Speed. And then I can just click Spore with Amoonguss. So, on anything coming in. Scizor comes out. We just Spore you. Best case, they U-turn for me. And it'll bring out HYDREIGON and just click Flamethrower. Now, I do want to be careful about Tyranitar. I do want to be very careful about Tyranitar. Because it could be Dragon Dance, but because I'm physically defensive Amoonguss, I'm going to go hard into it. And it could be Weakness Policy too. I am not going to bother, because Zeraora is faster, but I'm not going to bother, like... What the hell? Why are you so nervous? I'm going to try to beat it 1v1 with Amoonguss. Oof, good damage. So we Spore here, and then we bring out my my Zeraora. Again, I don't know too much about what type of Tyranitar this is. I'm actually going to Volt Switch here. Just in case it was... what's it called? Just in case it was Focus Sash. But we'll make the Excadrill play now. If this is Scarf Gengar, it can't knock me out. I'm trying to position myself to where Kingdra can't win. Oh, that's perfect. That's actually what I want. Because that shouldn't let Kingdra win. Especially because I just go out to HYDREIGON now and just drop a Draco. I suppose I could miss, but then they'd have to be Rain Dance plus like everything to beat me. So, I did miss. Let's see if they're Rain Dance plus everything. They Dragon Pulse to knock me out. I'm gonna knock off their Choice Specs and just try and beat them if that is Choice Specs. Scope Lens, so they are the critting one. Yo, okay. Hold up. This is a problem. I might have just lost. I may or may not have just lost. Come on, buddy. Ah, that's really sad. That's very sad. I guess I should have just tried to thaw, right? Will Amoonguss die? Maybe not. I mean, if they don't crit me. Bro, I would never sleep on crit draw. I made crit draw. I literally made crit draw. I made a video about it back in the day. I know this thing is Dragon Dance too. That's the thing, man. Ah! Come on, Zeraora. Wake up, buddy. This is the road to top 10, buddy. Thaw. Man. So that's unfortunate that my first loss comes with a freeze. I was trying my best to I lost to somebody. GG, dude. I lost to somebody like that, which is very unfortunate. But, so we end up going, what is that, 8-1 in the first episode. Whack. Very whack. I wanted to go about 30, 35-0 if possible. But I do hope you guys all enjoy. Y'all saw how I lost anyway. I was trying to think what's the best way I could do that. Because if they Dragon Dance, I would have to Spore after. They weren't even sand. I'm sad they Ice Beamed. Just trying to think what plays could have been made differently. I missed Draco. Then I got Frozen. Yeah, I won the game 100% if that didn't happen, because I Spored Tyranitar, so I just went hard into Zeraora on Tyranitar and clicked Close Combat, and that was game. Oh well. Well, everybody, thank you so much for watching. We unfortunately took our first loss, some garbage, but that is Pokemon. That is what it is. Hope y'all enjoy. If you did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. We'll be back. I don't know how often I'm doing this, every day or the other day. I have no idea how it is. Feel free to check out Ridge Wallet. The link is down below. You can use code Draco for 10% off. You're helping me out. Just clicking the link and checking it out and whatnot. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Goodbye, my friends.